Yeah, I'm just opening.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Is this visible presentation?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Just 1 minute. Just 1 minute. Now this must be visible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes. Go ahead. This is visible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Chapter 3.
Great, great. Okay. So I'll just start chapter number 3. This chapter number 3 is measurement and scaling. Measurement and scaling is what that in every research we are supposed to measure something. When physical property is to be measured, everything is very easy. But when psychological property is to be measured, we would be having a lot of problem in terms of measuring. We would be having a lot of problems in terms of measuring means what? I may be having buying intention. I'll again be taking the old example of buying intention. So I would be having my own understanding of buying intention. You would be having your own understanding of buying intention. So then there would be a problem. So what we are supposed to do, we are supposed to have the scientific way of measurement and scaling. So this chapter is being divided in two parts. Part number 1 is obvious, is visible over there, is measurement, and part number 2 is scaling. So measure in this class, for today's class, we are going to cover measurement, and for the next class, we are going to cover the scaling part. So measurement and scaling are two different parts. The problem is, as I've told you earlier, that for the measurement of psychological properties, we are supposed to adopt the procedure. We are supposed to adopt the procedure. What procedure is to be adopted? That procedure is to be universally means that procedure must be universal in nature. I mean to say universal in nature means everybody means what am I doing over here? Everybody should be able to understand my research language over anywhere. What I mean to say that what research may, because we are having the PhD class and MTech classes. So when I would develop a research paper, just for the sake of an example, I'm not saying you to develop a research paper. If we will be developing a research paper, just for the sake of an example, we are going to present it globally. We are going to present it globally means I'm going to send it to a journal. So that journal is going to assess my paper, and obviously for most of the papers we get major or minor revisions of the paper. Two or three reviewers, those who are international reviewers, they review the paper and they provide the comments. So one reviewer may be over there in Japan, one reviewer may be over there in Australia, and one reviewer may be over there in Finland. So from the three countries, I'm submitting my paper online from here. My paper has gone to one journal which is being published by USA, and that journal is that paper is being reviewed by three countrymen from the different countries. So which is why I will have to understand the scientific way of conducting the research. Throughout the class, we are going to understand the scientific way of conducting the research. So when there's the psychological property, when there's the psychological property means what is that psychological property? That property may be buying intention, may be job satisfaction, may be customer satisfaction, may be anything. I'm not knowing what may be that, but I'll have to adopt a procedure. When I would be adopting a procedure, as I've told you earlier, academia, international academia, or maybe global academia is going to examine me. In no way I would be able to tell that I was having this problem in Gwalior, which is why I was having that problem in Delhi, I was having that problem in Ajmer, which is why I couldn't take up my paper in that way. That scope is not available. Personal talking is not available. That paper would be submitted to journal online, and there would be the automatic blind review process. Reviewers are not knowing that what they are reviewing, and they are reviewing who has submitted the paper. They are not knowing it, and that submitter, those a person who has submitted the paper is not knowing that who is reviewing the paper. Paper would be reviewed on the basis of the quality presented. So there may not be the scope of saying that you consider my paper, that actually that was the problem. What scope is being available for the classroom teaching, that scope is not being available. So when I'm saying that scope is not being available, we are bound to follow the internationally adopted way of conducting the research. And through this chapter number 3, which is third in the sequence, we are going to learn measurement and scaling. So what is measurement? Measurement may be anything. If I am, suppose brand equity is the example, because my basic background is management, so my examples would always be pertaining to market, but this may be anything. It may be the introduction of a software in the market. So my basic issue is that people are happy with the product or not, because they are going to launch the product globally and then internationally. They are going to launch the product locally, then internationally. So when people are not happy with the software, development of software, how would they be purchasing the product? So then there's a problem in terms of, this is not the problem, there's the opportunity in terms of conducting the research. And whosoever would be conducting the research, that person is supposed to follow the international way of conducting the research. When I say that international way of conducting the research means that way which is being appreciated and adopted by the international academic fraternity and community. I mean to say that only. So my research paper must be having the research language, which is why chapter number 21 of the book is saying, the title of chapter number 21 is report writing. What are we doing is one thing, how we are writing is another thing. So I'll have to write my paper for reviewers. Reviewers are going to examine that. So when I develop my paper, or my students when they develop paper, they would always be having this in their mind, that reviewers are going to review the papers, and there would always be such kind of hesitation in the mind of a researcher that ultimately I would be reviewed by the international fraternity of the research. So we are supposed to understand that only. Is this clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Nominal scale. So scales of measurement are 4, because we have gone through this probably. I may have not taken up this in this class. Nominal scale, as I've told you earlier, is the symbolic representation only. All the roll numbers in the class, like your MTech class, I'm having the roll numbers. This is nominal scale. 1 to 41 is the nominal scale. Ordinal scale is different from nominal scale. Ordinal scale is the ranking 1 to 41 in the class. On the basis of CGPA, we are ranking people. Highest CGPA is 1, and then people are then second and third and fourth, like that. So we are in the process of ranking. In the nominal scale, we are in the process of just symbolically representing the data 1 to 41. Then we are in the process of ranking in ordinal scale. We would be ranking the data. And then interval scale, which is our matter of study for this class. In interval scale, I'm going to present a scale. When I'm going to present a scale 1 to 5, that scale is being known as Likert scale. We are going to discuss that. Then 1 to 5, where 1 would be strongly disagree and 2 would be disagree, 3 would be the neutral choice, 4 would be agree, 5 would be strongly agree. So this is a 5-point scale. When I present this kind of scale to obtain responses from the respondents, that is being known as interval scale. And ratio scale is when I would be able to compare that 30 is 2 times of 15. Means when that comparison is possible, 15 multiplied by 2 is 30. That is being termed as ratio scale. And ratio scale is the most superior scale, and the previous one, previous nominal scale seems to be the most inferior scale in terms of conducting the research. The research. Nominal scale, nomenclature only for symbolic representation, 1 to 41 in the class. Ordinal scale, ranking of people, their scores in the exam, 1 to 41. And interval scale is creation of a rating scale, 1 to 5, where 1 indicates strongly disagree and 5 indicates strongly agree, and 3 is in between, is the neutral one. And ratio scale is when I would be able to compare that 30 is, maybe 6 is 3 multiplied by 2 is equal to 6. When I would be having that kind, you see, when I'm saying that, so you may be able to ask a question when you, this is not the routine class, otherwise you would have asked this question, that this seems to be very easy, that this is possible in every kind of scale, but it's not possible. I'll just be taking the example of previous scale of 1 to 5. Would I be able, suppose we are having 1 to 6 scale, 1 to 6, 6 hota nahi hai, just for the sake of example only I'm saying. So would I be able to say that in the third category, interval scale, would I be able to say that second point of the scale and last point of the scale, 1 to 6 is the scale, मैं ये बोल सकता हूं क्या second point of the scale is last point of the scale, which is 6, is 3 times of the second point of the scale? Would I be able to say like that?
Yes, sir.
No, sir. This is not possible. This is not possible क्योंकि देखो इसमें ये इंटरवल स्केल है, इसमें all these are points. 1 may be anything, 1 may be strongly disagree, 2 may be agree, and 6 may be strongly agree. तो मैं ये तो indicators है ना, these are the indicators of points only. So this comparison is not possible. अच्छा, ranking में मैं previous data में ordinal level data पे जाता हूँ, तो मैं बोलता हूँ कि somebody is the sixth means somebody is the 8th ranking holder in the class. He secured 8th rank in the class. So would I be able to say, in the case of previous kind of ranking data, which is this data, would I be able to say that 8th ranking holder is 8th time less intelligent than the first ranking holder? I may not be able to say like that. There may be the 1 mark difference between the first ranking holder and 8th ranking holder. So for that,
we cannot say that, but if you have marks defined to these two, then then maybe probably somebody gets 20 and the last 6th person gets 60. You can always say that he has 3 times the marks what this person has got, right?
You can say like that 3 times of the marks, but you may not be able to say in that sense that he is 3 times of that person. Intelligent,
we cannot,
or maybe anything, right?
Yeah. We cannot say that.
That we cannot say.
Because they are qualitative parameters, right?
Yeah. That is what I'm saying. This is ranking only, right? And when somebody is having 60 rupees and somebody is having 240 rupees, I may be able to say that the second person is having 4 times more rupees than the person who is having 60 rupees. So the first data is the nominal data, second data is the ranking data, third category of data which we are going to use for the research, our research, which is universally adapted, is the rating data, and the fourth data, which is the superior one, is the ratio data, when we are having such kind of comparison possible, broad comparison, right? So this is what is the scale available, that nominal data and ordinal data. I'm saying one thing, that we are having a book available. You are going to consult chapter number 14 of the book if your data generated is nominal and ordinal. Abhi example se we will be able to understand. And if your data is interval and ratio, we are going to consult every other chapter of the book barring chapter number 14. So chapter number 14 is being based on nominal and ordinal data, and all other chapters in the sequence which are being given in the book are being based on interval and ratio data. So our assumption of taking the book, taking the subject, is that we are going to consider interval data, or ratio data for our study. Right? Is this clear to you?
Yes, sir.
It's very clear. This seems to be very
Yes,
clear,
sir.
right? Okay, I'll be asking few questions also. Now you see that we are in the process of the criteria of getting the good measurement. What am I saying since beginning? That international grade academic fraternity is going to evaluate or examine my research paper. For what we are taking up this class? We are taking up this class for understanding the research methodology. So research methodology and international reviewers, they know the research methodology. So my measurement must follow, my measurement means my scale must follow three criteria. These criteria are validity, reliability, and sensitivity. Three criteria we are going to follow, right? Validity, reliability, and sensitivity. In this chapter, we are not going to discuss validity in detail, but we are going to understand some of the aspects of validity. In this chapter, we are going to discuss reliability at one stretch. Partially, we are going to discuss, and sensitivity we are going to discuss thoroughly. Validity is the issue which would ultimately laterly be discussed in chapter number 20. When we'll reach over there, then we'll be deciding about the validity. But reliability and sensitivity issues are going to be settled over here when we'll be discussing this chapter. So first of all, I need to understand what is validity. Validity is the ability of an instrument to measure what is designed to measure. It looks that this is very simple, that we are in the process of measuring what we are supposed to measure, right? You have seen one figure of buying intention. Just for the sake of your understanding and for the sake of my explanation, means in the manner I would like to explain this, if I would replace buying intention from the figure by brand equity, probably I'll be getting the same kind of variables over there. So though I am in the process of measuring buying intention, actually I am measuring brand equity. So I must be very much clear in terms of academic international standards being laid down, that what am I going to measure. There may be the probability, there may be the problem that I'm thinking as a researcher, I'm thinking at my place that I'm actually measuring this, but I'm not even knowing that I'm measuring a different phenomena. Instead of buying intention, I'm partially measuring brand equity, because in some of the times, maybe many times, variables would be remaining the same. So I'll have to settle the issues of validity. So how would I be doing that? The first and the foremost way of handling the issue of validity is to check that. Is to check that. Means instrument. When I'm saying that your instrument, when I'm saying your instrument means your questionnaire. Your questions of the questionnaire are proper or not. In consultation with many experts and people, I would generally be talking to people, and this is what is my subjective evaluation of the scale. I'm having a scale. That scale is hypothetically 1 to 5. That scale is measuring buying intention. My scale, with the help of the previous example, is buying intention when I took 5 variables. My scale is measuring these 5 variables. So is this actually measuring buying intention or not? So that is what is the content validity. Content validity is the phased validity. I will talk to people, and people means experts. I'll not talk to anybody. Experts means we know when we will be conducting the research, and if we are going to conduct the research for any topic, from the Google search engine only, you would be knowing that who have contributed most in that topic. This slide is clear. Means something else was being visible over there. This is clear. Content validity.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, criterion validity. Criterion validity is the second aspect which we are going to discuss, that the scale is able to perform up to the expectation with the respect of to the old to the other variables or criteria. Buying intention is my problem of my research. Buying intention may not have come from the vacuum. Many researchers across the globe may have researched the same topic. I should be able to understand that my topic is similar with the other topics or not. So that is what is the buy. I'll take it up in the different manner. I'll take that. What was the? Can you tell me that what was the first variable of buying intention? We took the example of buying intention.
Brand
Can
equity.
it was brand image. It was brand image, right?
Brand image, yes.
It was brand image. I'm saying that we were supposed to ask. We are supposed to ask 5 questions pertaining to brand image. Example. Now, by criterion, I'm framing 5 questions to represent brand image. I'll have to further verify by variety of techniques. In this class, we are only understanding that this is the problem or this is the matter of discussion. Techniques are different. We'll have to further verify that actually these 5 questions which I have placed in the category of brand image are actually measuring brand image or not. Because we are having the similar concepts like brand positioning, brand equity, brand awareness, many other in marketing research literature. So I'm not sure that brand image is actually measuring brand image or not. So I'll have to consult literature or other things that actually the variables are measuring the real phenomena of factor or not. That we'll have to consult. So validity, the first part is the content. Just see the content, talk to people, check the validity, and make it and try to convert this into the final one. What was the ad hoc in the first step? We are supposed to convert this into the final one. Then criterion, my first variable brand image, my second variable brand awareness, my third variable price, my fourth variable availability, my fifth variable after sales services. My variables, when I'm saying my variables are actually measuring these or not. Because what am I thinking? What am I proposing? This is not thinking. What am I proposing? That these 5 taken together, these 5 combined are going to represent buying intention. Is this so? First of all, I'll have to break it up in 5. So when the each and every variable is being properly indicated by the number of statements or questions included in the variable, then only I'll be able to move further. Otherwise, I'll not be able to move further. One more kind of validity is the construct validity. Construct validity is achieved by convergent validity and discriminant validity. Just for the sake of an example, my instrument of buying intention must be similar with the other concepts available in the academia. My buying intention should not be my understanding of buying intention or my proposition of buying intention should not be functioning in an isolation. There would always be the similarity with the other researchers, those who have worked in the area of buying intention and those who have proposed the model of buying intention. So on the my instrument means sum of 25 questions which I am going to ask to cater buying intention are actually similar with the other available instruments in the academia or not. So my instrument should exhibit good correlation with the other similar instruments available in the academic literature, as well as this is convergent validity. My instrument should be different from the other similar kind of concepts. Like buying intention is one concept and brand equity is another concept. So my instrument should be similar with the other buying intention instruments available in the academic world, but my instrument should be different from the similar type of concepts like buying intention, brand equity, brand positioning, like that. So because you may have seen that we have taken one variable as price. So price may be the variable of anything. Price is the variable of brand equity also. Price is the variable of brand positioning also. Price is the variable of brand preference also. Price is the variable of brand awareness also. So who knows that price we are taking it right or not? So because what we are going to do, we are conducting research not for keeping this in an isolation. Now you see that nowadays everything is being online available. Even a PhD thesis is being online available. For what sake this is being online available? Other researchers are supposed to take help from such academic body of knowledge. Such academic body of knowledge means ultimately our PhD thesis, whatever thesis we are going to write, is going to contribute into the academic body of knowledge, which is why this is being online available. I am not, nobody is supposed to copy that, but it is always allowed to take help from that, taking proper reference. I would always be consulting your thesis. I would always be referring your thesis by making proper reference. Even working thesis and working papers are being referred. Even working papers are being available online. So what is the issue that the knowledge is being online available? With the help of the knowledge, I'll have to understand that my buying intention instrument now onwards, buying intention instrument is similar to other available instruments in the academic world, and as well as my buying intention instrument is dissimilar with the similar kind of concepts like buying intention and brand equity and brand preference. These three are three different concepts, and my instrument is making a reasonable difference with the other two similar kind of concepts. So by achieving the convergent validity and discriminant validity, we settle the issue of construct validity. This validity issue is being well catered and covered in chapter number 20. Now I'll move to uh, reliability. Reliability
So can I
is,
ask a question?
yeah, please.
Sir,
Yeah, please.
actually, sir, can you please explain the difference between criterion validity and construct validity? Because as you explained in construct validity, if we talk about convergent part, then we check if our questionnaire or the items which we are using to measure a particular variable, they are similar with other available instruments. That similarity should be there with other instruments. And in criterion validity, you said that we check if whatever variable we are measuring, we are actually measuring that particular variable or some other similar variable. So, sir, is criterion validity not that sense?
Yeah.
Because in divergent
Yeah.
also we are doing the same thing.
No. What actually that convergent is being clear to you, that you have explained it well, and discriminant is being clear to you. We are supposed to establish convergent and discriminant. That is one thing, right? Criterion was the previous one. It was the second one. Am I right or
Yes,
not?
sir. Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Yes, sir.
So again, what would be, for the sake of explaining, what would I be saying? That do you remember the discussed model of buying intention where we used 5 variables?
Yes, sir.
In 5 variables, brand image was the first variable.
Right, sir.
So in criterion validity, what we do, this is not the issue of convergence and discriminant. This is the issue of assessing that what statements or questions we have included in brand image. Is this actually including brand? Is this actually indicating brand image or not? This is
Okay.
for brand image. This is for brand image only. And the next set of convergent or discriminant is counting all five. All five. I'm talking about the instrument, all five, in convergent and discriminant, but I'm talking about a variable, brand image, in terms of criterion. means am I able to, by the help of 5 questions, am I able to define brand image well or not? That is the issuing criterion. Is this clear?
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay, thank you. So now I'll move to reliability. Reliability is that suppose just I'm going to ask a question, how is this class? You'll say that this is very good. If I'll ask this question tomorrow, you'll say that this is very bad. So what would I be doing as a researcher? Are you getting my point? What am I saying?
Yes, sir.
Today I'm
Inconsistency.
saying this is very good. Tomorrow I'm saying this is very bad. And now you see that on the basis of your very good and very bad, a producer, a company is going to launch a product, and company is going to expense maybe some 5,000 crore rupees on the basis of a marketing research report being presented by the research agency. So research agency is not coming from heaven. Research agency is talking to people with the help of the instrument, and research agency is getting the responses. Research agency is not coming from the vacuum. So when me as the respondent, when I would not present it well, when I would not be consistent in terms of providing the responses, research agency may be the international agency, but on the basis of my response, which is being tilted from one day to second day, agency is going to present the wrong report. So after validity, I'll have to check the reliability of the scale. When we will wind up this chapter in the next class, I'll take the mathematical aspect of reliability. But right now, I'll not be taking the mathematical aspect of reliability. In the end of this chapter, in the next class, I'll take up that. But reliability, see what is the definition of, is the tendency of a respondent to respond in the same or in a similar manner to an identical or near identical questions. This is one tendency. This is the tendency, but reverse tendency is today a 1 to 5 rating scale is being presented to me. I am saying 5. Tomorrow or maybe after 2 months, if you are going to present that to me, I'll say no, it is 3. When maybe after 15 days, I'll say that it is 4, like that. So my responses are going to be fluctuated by my mood. Sometimes there may be the possibility. So what check I will have to adopt for avoiding transient and situational factors to not intervene in the process of conducting the research. 3 are the ways. Mathematical way we will be discussing in the next class. Test, retest reliability, equivalent forms reliability, and internal consistency. This is the most adopted, internal consistency. Test, retest, I would be, the same questionnaire is going to be administered to same respondents in 2 time slots, and then I'm going to see the similarity. When I say that, when I see the similarity, I see similarity in terms of computing the correlation coefficient. If correlation coefficient of 2 responses being obtained in the 2 different time slots are high, that means responses are consistent. When correlation coefficient is high, when this is low, that means our instrument is not reliable. My instrument is indicating 2 responses in 2 months when I am administering this to the same set of respondents. So test and retest. First you test, then you retest, and correlation must be higher. Then only I would be able to say that my instrument is reliable. Then the second way of doing this is equivalent forms reliability. Equivalent form reliability means sometimes what would I be doing? I would suppose my questionnaire is having my instrument is having 4 segments A, B, C, and D. What would I be doing? First time I'll be presenting this in the sequence A, B, C, D, and then I'll be changing the sequence. I'll be saying the C, A, B, and D. And in that, after changing the forms, or this is not only changing the segment, sometimes we change the questions also. Sometimes we change the options of answers also. So when I'll be changing that, when respondents are properly reading and they are very careful in responding, then only I'll be getting the consistent answers. So forms are, in my forms, 25 are the questions in the first set. In the second set of form, 25 are the questions. But what was the fourth one in the first set? Now this is the eighth one. I'm doing like that. And then I'm checking the correlation coefficient. If this is okay, my instrument is reliable. Otherwise, my instrument is not reliable. And then the most important aspect is the internal consistency. Internal consistency is being used for checking the reliability of the scale. Internal consistency we are going to take up in the next class in detail with the help of SPSS. So the earlier two versions were manual versions. Internal consistency nowadays is being computed using the softwares. So internal consistency, when I'm saying that, so softwares, what we were doing earlier, a step ahead, softwares are going to do that manually. So softwares are going to use the iterations, and what we were doing that manually in the first set, in the first way of test retest and equivalent forms, we are doing that manually. Now software is going to do that, and one by one, this is the default program of the software. They are going to generate the internal consistency. When such consistency is being generated, this is being known as Cronbach alpha. We are going to discuss that in detail. For Cronbach alpha, if I need to say that, I am bound to say that my instrument is validated and my instrument is reliable also. So for validity and reliability, as I've told you earlier, that validity, we are going to consult chapter number 20 in detail. Reliability would be partially covered over here. Then again, we will be covering that in chapter number 20. But reliability issue is being catered in most of the researches by Cronbach alpha. We'll take a separate session of 30 minutes for understanding Cronbach alpha just in the next class. So one thing right now in this class, we are supposed to understand that Cronbach alpha varies from 0 to 1, and a value of 0.6 or less is being considered to be unsatisfactory. And again, for 0.6 or less or 0.5 or less, there are variety of recommendations available. So this is not considered, this is not consistent that I'll be taking 0.6 or 0.5. I'll be discussing it later at length. And then so we have settled down two issues. One was the issue pertaining to validity. At least we have understood what was the concern of validity, and at least we have understood what is the concern of reliability. And two issues are being settled over here. The issue, these are not being settled over here. Two issues are being discussed over here. The issue of reliability and the issue of validity. And the last issue is very simple to handle, is the issue of sensitivity. It is being recommended that for good researches, I should not be using the vague rating scales. Vague rating scales means, I'm saying that, I'm just giving you an example. I'm saying that my scale is having 5 points, and I'm asking my my scale from agree, then slightly agree, then seems to be agreeing, like that. And there's no point, neutral point over there. There's no negative point over there. Because I am a careful researcher, I am a sensitive researcher, I must be showing sensitivity. So when, in order to show that sensitivity, I must be using the sensitive equipment. Sensitive equipment is the sensitive instrument which is going to avoid the vague answers. Vague answers must be avoided. A 5-point rating scale is being presented, where first 2 points are disagreement, third point is neutral, and remaining 2 points are agreement. 2 are disagreement, 2 are agreement, giving the neutral choice as in between, which is why we are having 5 point, 7 point, 9 point, 11 point, and 13 point scales. I'm saying this just for the sake of saying, but I have never seen researchers using more than 9-point scales, because we are in the process of obtaining the responses from the respondents. Even 5-point rating scale would be complex to apply. It's not as easy that for everything I would be able to give my answer in terms of 5-point of the scale. So 5-point scale, which we are going to discuss later, is being known as Likert scale, or it can be 7-point and it can be 9-point maximum. Very rarely, with very defined reasonable support, people use 11 and 13, but we people in the general research, we use 5 or 7. Even we do not use 9-point. 5 or 7 is the general research instrument, general research scale. So sensitivity is being settled very easily. Out of 3, sensitivity is very easy to settle down. Sensitivity is using a rating scale is going to resolve the issue of sensitivity. So we have discussed up to this, we have discussed measurement and scaling. Scaling would be the just next topic, right? We in the next class we are going to discuss scaling and reliability, mathematical reliability. I'll be discussing that in the next class, right? If you wish to ask any question, please ask questions.
Sir, I have a question.
Yeah, please ask.
Sir, if the researcher has, if there is framing error in the questionnaire, in the sense that the researcher has not appropriately written questions. For example, the researcher thought that the question has some other meaning, and the respondents which read the question, they think of some other meaning. So, sir, this type of error, framing error, it will reduce reliability of the questionnaire or validity of the questionnaire.
It is actually this is very difficult to handle. What is going to happen that by checking the questionnaire, you are supposed to eliminate this kind of error. So the errors are not being restricted to reliability and validity. There may be many other kinds of error in the research which we are going to discuss later, right? So this may be even reliability. This may be the issue of validity. Validity means when the question is not being properly framed. This may be the issue of validity. This may be the issue of reliability. But this is not the issue of validity, reliability. Maybe in what sense I'm saying that it can come under the category of validity when this is not being properly framed. That means this is not indicating the concern variable. One, this may be the issue of sensitivity. This may be the issue of reliability. This may be the issue of reliability because you have not framed it proper, your question, which is why the concerned respondent is not able to understand that properly. So in one situation he is answering something else, and in another situation he is answering something else. These are not only two, but otherwise there may be many other problems in the research. For in terms of the question, right? So through what problems? By considering chapter number 4 titled questionnaire designing, we are going to cover this aspect, how to frame the questions.
Okay,
right?
sir.
Okay. You wish to ask anything else? Anybody else? Chaurasia ji is attending the class. Gaurav Chaurasia ji. Chaurasia ji.
Yes, sir. Attending the class, sir.
Attending the class. Great.
Yes,
You have got this.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Nidhi, yeah. Saurabh. Yeah, please. Yeah.
Sir, actually, I had some problem in the next week class. So, sir, if there is any possibility for the time schedule to be changed, if
actually, one thing I'm saying, Saurabh, you are the PhD scholar.
Yes, sir.
Saurabh ji, we are facing a lot of problems. All these MTech people are attending the class. You see that it's very difficult to arrange the class because we are having 3 branches of MTech.
Right, sir.
I'm not knowing, but they are saying me that they are having the different schedules.
Right,
and
sir.
There's no schedule being displayed. So we are fixing the classes like that. So,
yes, sir.
Saurabh ji, this is what is the problem. Then Tuesday I'll be discussing that in the class, that if there may be the possibility that Tuesday 2 to 3 I'll not be available. Is there any possibility? Abdullah is over there? Abdullah is there or not?
Yes, sir.
So is there any possibility of taking the class? Maybe in what time slot is free here in first half? First half.
Sir, I say
देखो ना अगले week में.
Sir, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. sir.
9 to 10 a.m.
Yeah.
और उसके बाद में अगले वीक के लिए बोल रहा हूँ, अगले वीक के लिए।
So, so what are you asking, sir? Please
नहीं,
ask
मैं
again.
what am I asking that is there any time slot free for, earlier we decided that we are going to take a class on Tuesday from 2 to 3 noon, right? My issue, my submission is that is there any other time slot free in the first half other than 2 to 3? हाँ, कोई time slot है क्या? Free बताओ ना अभी।
Wednesday we have
अच्छा
12 to
Wednesday,
1:30.
अच्छा एक मिनट, Wednesday time slot free है 12 to 1?
Yes.
No, sir. We have time. We have other.
अभी अरे बाबा we
So,
have
sir,
other,
you can take class on Friday na next week on this time slot only.
नहीं तो फिर मैं ट्यूसडे भी ले लूंगा। मैं ट्यूसडे को, और कोई टाइम स्लॉट फ्री है क्या? जैसे वेडनेसडे अभी किसी ने बताया था वो, हाँ वेडनेसडे 1 to 2 लेता हूँ फिर, ठीक है, ठीक है, वेडनेसडे 1 to 2, दिस इज फाइनल।
No, sir.
अरे यार
sir,
सौरभ जी अब मत बताओ, वेडनेसडे 1 to 2 फाइनल हो गया। अब आप अरेंज करना अपना, ठीक है।
Directly,
वेडनेसडे हम लोग को एक एक क्लास अरेंज करने में डिफिकल्टी आ रही है।
okay, sir. Actually, I'm having lab at that time, sir. Actually, 22 there is lab.
अरे नहीं भाई, लेकिन हम वेडनेसडे 1 to 2 लेंगे। अब दिस इज बीइंग फिक्स्ड, दिस इज बीइंग शेड्यूल्ड।
So then Tuesday will be fine now because everybody is available from 2 to 3. Then we can take on Tuesday.
तो वेडनेसडे 1 to 2 you people would not be available?
No, sir. Actually, we have confirmed the timing to Tuesday and
Right, we
Friday.
had confirmed that it was not the international confirmation. Now we are having the flexible time arrangement. So what am I saying, that if Wednesday 1 to 2 is okay, Wednesday 1 to 2 is also good for me. Is this good for you people? Miss Wednesday 1 to 2, is there any
Yes,
class?
sir. Wednesday is fine, sir.
हाँ Wednesday is good, हाँ वो ठीक है ना। अभी हम लोग क्या है, नेक्स्ट वीक का वेडनेसडे ही है, नेक्स्ट वीक का, नेक्स्ट वीक वेडनेसडे कौन सा डेट है?
10th, sir. 10th of Feb.
अच्छा 10th February, अच्छा ठीक है। तो हाँ 10th February को we are going to take up the class. हम लोग का क्लास हम लोग रीशेड्यूल कर सकते हैं कभी भी, है ना? We are having this
So
flexibility available.
if we can fix the timing for like every week, that would be like.
What time?
So we should fix
Because
the
every time we are changing, that is very confusing for us.
So
No,
it is
what
very
timing we are
difficult to
doing?
adjust classes then.
No, what timing we are going to fix for every week? What timing? You tell me.
So this
What time?
Tuesday and Friday was fine. If we are having problem, then Wednesday and Friday is also fine.
No, you said that Tuesday 2 to 3, Wednesday and Friday 2 to 3, right? But sometimes what happens
Yes.
that we are doing meetings also over here, right? So we'll have to attend sometimes meetings and all that. So by and large, broadly we'll take it from 2 to 3 Tuesday and Friday, broadly. And I'll be intimating you accordingly, whatever would be the time slot. But sometimes we'll have to change the time slot because there may be the possibility that Tuesday there may be something, there may be some official circumstances, right? Then, so in the light of that, what am I saying, that Wednesday 1 to 2 is this for this week only, right? And if you tell me, यदि आप मेरे को बोलते हैं कि 11 से 12 की क्लास कोई है या 12 से 1 की क्लास कोई है, या आप मेरे को बोलते हैं 4 से 5 की क्लास है, तो वो भी कर सकते हैं। आपका तो सारा टाइम शेड्यूल बुक हो गया ना, मतलब सारा टाइम शेड्यूल फिक्स है ना वो तो,
Yes, sir.
है ना, यही इशू है ना।
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
नहीं अभी देखो
The
आपको नहीं
only
सर बोलना है
Wednesday is free.
कि- मेरे को तो नहीं लगता कि इतना शेड्यूल होगा, लेकिन अब जैसे आप मेरे को बताते हो कि हमारा सारा टाइम स्लॉट पूरा बुक है, पूरा टाइम स्लॉट, तो मेरे को मानना पड़ता है ना।
सर हमारा, हम सही बोल रहे हैं सर, हमारा 8 बजे से 4 बजे तक पूरा full रहता है।
11:30 to.
नहीं मैं एक चीज ये पूछ रहा हूँ, जैसे टाइम स्लॉट आपका पूरा टाइम स्लॉट फिक्स्ड है ना, तो उसमें क्या है, यदि ऑफिशियली टाइम शेड्यूल होता ना तो मुझे मालूम होता कि कौन सा टाइम स्लॉट फिक्स है। अभी तो आप बता रहे हैं, मैं जानता हूँ ना।
सर तो सर हम आपको एक टाइम टेबल भेज सकते हैं सर, हमने अपना खुद का एक टाइम टेबल बनाया है, वो हम आपको भेज सकते हैं। तो आप
अच्छा वो मेरे को भेज दीजिए, टाइम टेबल है तो मेरे को भेज दीजिए प्लीज। Who will send me the timetable?
Sir, Abdullah will send you. I will
Abdullah,
tell.
you will send me the timetable.
I'm calling from One E-Marketing Solutions.
अरे गिरधर जी अपना वो माइक म्यूट करिए.
Sorry. Yeah. Sorry.
Abdullah, you'll be sending me the time schedule.
Okay, sir. I will send you the time
So
schedule.
that
according.
time schedule is carrying means all three batches of MTech.
No, not all 3 batches.
Yeah, all three. That again would be a difficulty. You are going to share the time schedule of CN batch, then other 2 batches I will not be having it. Do you have combined timetable? हाँ अब्दुल्ला combine करके भेज दोगे तो अच्छा है. Will you be sending Abdullah combined?
Yeah. Okay,
Huh?
sir. Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
You do one thing. You do one thing. You send me the combined time schedule, and then accordingly I'll be searching the time slot, and then I'll be fixing the time schedule. Even this is also difficult for me also. Every time asking and every time discussing like that, right? So you send me the combined time schedule. ठीक है?
Okay, sir. So actually, we 3 CRs discussed among ourselves, and then only we fixed this time slot, sir.
This time
Actually,
slot.
free on Tuesday 2 to 3 and Wednesday 2 to 3, sir. Sorry. Tuesday and Friday 2 to 3.
You said that Tuesday and Friday, है ना?
Yes, sir. Tuesday and Friday.
So Tuesday and Friday, we are going to take Tuesday and Friday, no doubt in that, right? But if there would be a change in Tuesday and Friday, like today we are able to observe a change in terms of Wednesday 1 to 2, if this is free, so we can reschedule that accordingly. I'll be sending you the official intimation for that.
Okay, sir.
है ना? मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ? Tuesday or Friday 2 to 3 is okay. That I have got your point. But what am I saying that if we are instead of Tuesday next week, if 1 to 2 Wednesday slot is being available, we can take it up over there Wednesday. ठीक है?
Yes, sir.
है ना? Wednesday 1 to 2 slot लेते हैं. फिर उसके बाद Friday को will we be taking the class or not? I'll be informing you that on Wednesday.
Yes, sir.
Huh? Broadly, you are saying, Abdullah, that Tuesday and Friday 2 to 3 is the time slot available, right? Okay, I fixed the time slot, but there may be the possibility that we would be, after discussion, we would be changing the time slots accordingly. That also is the possibility. Is this okay?
Okay, sir.
Sir, some days you will be taking on Wednesday, you are saying, no?
हाँ, the Tuesday's class, which was being scheduled from 2 to 3, I will take that class for this week on Wednesday 1 to 2. Wednesday 1 to 2.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Then on Wednesday, I'll ask that if there is any other free time slot. Sometimes what happens that there would be the free time slot available. Then if Abdullah or anybody would be telling me, or if anybody would be telling me that this is the free slot available, then I'll talk to you and I'll fix the schedule. Otherwise, Tuesday and Friday 2 to 3 I'll take. Fine. Tuesday and Friday we will fix. 2 to 3 you have said. But likewise, if there is the change possibility in that concerned week, I'll discuss and we'll fix accordingly. Where's the problem, right?
Okay, sir.
So now we have discussed that instead of Tuesday, Wednesday 1 to 2 I'll take. Wednesday.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. You wish to ask any question, or I'll be winding up this third chapter on Wednesday 1 to 2, and then I'll start the chapter number 4, and I'll wind up chapter number 4. After completing chapter number 4, I will take assignment number 1. I'll send you the assignment number 1, class assignment, for 25 marks. After taking up chapter number 4, right? So maybe around 17th or 18th of this month, we would be taking this assignment number 1. Would that be fine?
Yes, sir.
इसमें कोई दिक्कत नहीं है?
No, sir.
ठीक है. Thank you very much.
Sir, one small thing. So the slides last time we discussed, right? Somebody would be circulating.
हाँ. अच्छा. You have not received the slide, na?
No, not received.
Actually, you may be deep. You do one thing. you all send mails to, you may not be having the group ID. PhD may not be group ID. You do one thing. You send mail to Deependra. Deependra is my PhD student. Deependra is not there. अभी याद नहीं होगा शायद. Deependra. भी इसमें दिखता भी नहीं ना, लिमिटेड है. तो एक्चुअली आप ना एक काम करें, you send mail to Deependra. I have talked to Deependra. When Deependra would be, because you do not have, there are 11 PhD people in this class. So when you do one thing, you will be getting Deependra's email ID from other people. Anybody would be able to provide you that.
Right.
So Deependra at the rate IIITM ऐसा कुछ है, मैं आपको भेज दूंगा Deependra की email ID. आप उसको सबको फॉरवर्ड कर दीजिएगा. तो Deependra की email ID, अच्छा ये इन्होंने लिखा है, ये Deependra की email ID आ गई, वो उसमें देखिएगा, है ना?
Right, got it.
Deependra की email, you send it to Deependra, and Deependra is having all the material, PPT and everything. Deependra would be sending you individually.
Okay.
And you copy it to me also. This whatever mail you will be sending to Deependra, you are supposed to copy that to me also. Gaurav ji also do that. You all PhD 11 people. In such a manner we'll have to handle this issue. क्योंकि आपका ग्रुप ईमेल आईडी नहीं है ना, इनका तो ग्रुप ईमेल आईडी में चला गया था वो. ठीक है.
उनके ग्रुप में हमारा मेल ऐड कर सकते हैं क्या सर?
नहीं, मेरे को लगता है कि जैसे आप लोग 11 लोग हैं तो उसका ग्रुप ईमेल आईडी कैसे बनेगा?
नहीं, उनके ग्रुप में हमको ऐड कर सकते हैं ना, दैट इज व्हाट आई एम सेइंग.
नहीं, उनके ग्रुप में नहीं कर सकते ना ऐड. ये आप लोग का जितना, जैसे मेरे पास ईमेल आ रहा था ना आपका, तो मैं आपको इंडिविजुअली ऐड कर रहा था सबको.
करेक्ट.
और इनका जो एमटेक है ना, मैंने एमटेक को ग्रुप में ऐड कर लिया है. तो एमटेक का मेरे पास में 3 ईमेल आईडी था जो उनका ब्रांच वाइज था. So on the basis of branch only, I added all the people. So I've included only three email IDs for including MTech people. And आपके जो 11 लोग आए उनको मेरे को इंडिविजुअली करना पड़ा सबको.
Okay.
है ना, जैसे एक क्लास होता है तो उसमें 100 लोग भी हैं, तो उसका ग्रुप ईमेल आईडी होता है, तो आप एक ईमेल आईडी से 100 अटैच हो जाते हैं उसमें. तो इसमें क्या करिए, फिर दीपेंद्र को मेल कर दीजिए, और दीपेंद्र को जैसे आप मेल करते जाएंगे तो ही वुड बी सेंडिंग यू ऑल द PPTs.
ओके.
ठीक है, दीपेंद्र का ईमेल आईडी उन्होंने लिख दिया है, तो उसमें ये हो जाएगा. दिस वुड बी पॉसिबल. हाँ, ठीक है. सो वेडनेसडे 1 to, हाँ बोलिए.
सर ये असाइनमेंट जो आपने बोला, इसका पैटर्न क्या रहेगा? और मतलब असाइनमेंट सबमिशन 17th और 18th को है क्या?
नहीं, असाइनमेंट सबमिशन नहीं है. असाइनमेंट सबमिशन के लिए मैं आपको 8-10 दिन का समय दूंगा, है ना. वो तो अच्छा, असाइनमेंट सबमिशन के लिए कम से कम मैं 1 हफ्ते का समय तो रहेगा ही रहेगा. और 1 हफ्ते में असाइनमेंट में पूरा डिटेल असाइनमेंट का जो मैं आपको मेल भेजूंगा या मैं इसमें पोस्ट करूंगा, उसमें मैं पूरा डिटेल ऑफ असाइनमेंट बता दूंगा. ये असाइनमेंट एक प्रपोजल जैसा मैं सोच रहा हूँ कि जैसे प्रपोजल होता है, रिसर्च प्रपोजल का फर्स्ट पार्ट रहेगा ये, जो बेसिकली 4 चैप्टर्स को कैटर करता हुआ रहेगा, लेकिन थोड़ा एडवांस भी रहेगा, थोड़ा सा आगे भी जा सकते हैं. ऐसा नहीं कि 4 के आगे. उसमें मैं लिख दूंगा असाइनमेंट में कि जो चीज है तो इसमें यू रिफर चैप्टर 11 फॉर दिस. यदि जरूरत पड़ेगी तो मैं ऐसा लिख दूंगा उसमें. ठीक है. और ये ब्रॉडली एक रिसर्च प्रपोजल जैसा प्रेजेंट करने का रहेगा, लेकिन ये रिसर्च प्रपोजल नहीं रहेगा. रिसर्च प्रपोजल फाइनल होगा, लेकिन ये रिसर्च प्रपोजल का प्रिलिमिनरी स्टेज रहेगा ये. ठीक है.
ओके सर.
Is this fine for you? So okay, so Wednesday 1 to 2 I'll be taking the class, right?
Okay sir.
Okay. Now I'm leaving. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.